Welcome to the Kimi Kato Show. Kimi Kato is your host. And who am I? I'm Kimi Kato's sidekick. I'm his co-host on the show, Jeremiah. Together, each week, we are exploring Japanese pop culture, music, food, fashion, and film. And we hope you'll join us every week. And I was going to talk about real quickly, Kimi, if you don't mind. Welcome, Kimi. How are you? Good to
Very
see
nice to
you,
see
my
you.
friend.
Love to
Uh,
be on the show.
it's your show, man. I'm happy you're letting me on your show. So I was going to tell everybody, the listeners, because this is really season one, episode one, and you've got an incredible guest with us today. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to know him a little bit more. But I'm going to tease everybody right now, and I'll let
Yeah,
you
yeah,
introduce our guest. But
yeah.
I was going to tell everybody how this show started many, many months back. Last year in 23, you came on the show to promote the Last Rockstars and
hmm
their concert in Los Angeles with Jonathan Platt. And I bumped into you in the Beverly Hills Hilton right off the red carpet at a luncheon not too long ago. I think was it December?
It was, I think, yeah, somewhere like November, December last year.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we just started talking, you and I, like, hey, we recognize each other. And we started talking about our love for radio and all the wonderful and terrific artists um, that are on your label at Project Asteri. And we just started talking about maybe doing a show together, and here we are.
amazing,
Isn't it amazing?
totally amazing. I actually, we're already in February, but I just want to kind of wish everyone a happy new year.
Yeah.
Um, and I must say, I am very, very happy to be able to start another year with our new radio show. So, let's take it
Well,
on.
let's take it on. I love that. What can the listeners expect for the new show? I know for me, I love the Japanese culture and I want to know more. I want to hear more music. I want to watch more film and kind of soak it in. And I think I love this idea because I'm almost like a tourist on your show, and I get exposure to all things in your life, in your world. But what are the listeners? What can
Yeah,
they
so
expect?
yeah, that's the kind of thing I was kind of expecting. I want to be able to introduce exciting entertainment news topics from Japan, whether you have plans to go there or not. I want to make these topics relevant to the US listen and people in the US that may not know about Japan, may know about Japan, but interesting topics because you come across a lot of Japanese culture when living in the States, from sushi to sake. And where does it come from? How's it made? Japanese music, anime. People talk about anime as well. There's massive anime expo every year in Los Angeles and across the United States. I want to kind of dig deep a little bit so that people can get a better understanding um, about these culture. So that's where I try to bridge the knowledge and influences so that can we kind of feel entertained.
Yeah, and you'll be kind to me if I'm dense sometimes and I don't get it, but and I ask a stupid question. You'll be nice to me, Kimmy.
But that's why you're here.
That's why
You're,
I'm
you're
here.
meant to ask these questions that we all kind of
Well,
want to
let me
ask.
talk about real quickly, and then we'll get to your special guest today. But I wanted to ask you because I know you and your guest. It's really hard not to give it away. Went on a road trip on Friday out to Las Vegas to see you too. How was
Yes,
that?
indeed. Oh my goodness. I mean, we did a one night trip to see you two at the Sphere. I mean, the show was beyond, like, this was beyond what I've ever seen before. It was taking technology and
Mhm.
entertainment to the next level. But you know what? I want Caesar to talk about that. So um I want my guests to talk about that. I just gave it away. Um, but yeah, so today is our first show of 2024, and I'm very excited to introduce you to one of the top guitarists from Japan. He's a guitarist, violinist, composer, producer, an entrepreneur, an environmentalist, an activist, a member of a band called Lunacy, one of the most successful, influential band in visual kei movement of Japan. He is also the member of X Japan, the Last Rockstars, Shag. He's also has his own fashion brand called Oneness. He is the one and only Sugizo.
Yeah, very nice to meet you.
Welcome to our show.
Welcome.
It's a big pleasure. Thank you.
It's
Thanks
such an honor
for
to have you today with us.
It's great.
True honor.
Yeah.
Big
So,
honor.
Sugizo-san, what brings you to LA this time?
Uh, Firstly, my most important thing is my private stuff is my important uncle passed away last year because I really wanted to I really want to go to his graveyard, his
Mhm.
and yes, our family's things.
Mm. Oh,
And yeah, I had some important work, and I really wanted to go to Las Vegas for you to show with you.
amazing.
And last one, my very, very important work, this radio show.
Oh,
Yeah.
true honor. Jeremiah, did you hear that? Oh my
I-
goodness.
I
So-
love him. I loved him already. I love him even more now.
So our deepest condolences about your uncle's passing. He apparently was a very, very huge part of Sugizo's life, being raised, as well as you know the uncle living in LA. He does feel LA as his second home. So he did come here for that to visit his uncle and uncle's grave actually. And then he wanted to go to Vegas to see you two at the Sphere, which I also wanted to go. So we kind of like, let's go on a road trip and let's do this. It was that happened, and the radio show. How nice.
Yes, very nice. And my condolences as well, Sugizo, for your
Mike
loss.
Dawn.
Sorry. Hey, can I ask a question real quick, Kimmy?
Sure.
I was fascinated by this when I was thinking of you guys were driving out to Las Vegas and the road trip because that's pretty American, right? A road trip, or is it universal around the world? Is there when your kids, I mean, there's nothing better, right, than like eating junk food and being on the road, listening to music with your best friend, and just going wherever the road takes you. Does that happen in Japan when your kids or with the cars? Is it same kind of a phenomenon, the same specialness? I'm just it just made me think about that. There's one of my stupid questions, but
No, not stupid. But yes, it's cars trip. Yes, I had so many beautiful memories in Japan
yeah.
too. Especially, yes, my family things. Yes, so many times I visited to my family's, my cousin's house with my parents' car. And Japanese has so many beautiful shore.
Yeah.
Yes, my image is very important. Image is beautiful shore, Japanese weather, Japanese summer, and family's lovely memory.
Yeah, Japan is, as you know, surrounded by ocean. We are an island country.
Yes.
So ocean, driving by the ocean, looking at the sea, beaches, is a huge part of our lives. We live amongst the mountains and the sea. So yes, so I think it's quite common that people travel by car. Although there are bullet trains.
Yes,
But
yes.
people still travel a lot by car, don't they?
Yeah. But Japanese has, of course, we don't have big desert. Because yes, American trip is very, very something like a dream to us. Huge
Yeah.
ground, huge desert, and a big sky. We don't have that view because usually American trip is something like my dream when I was a child.
And I'd love to hear your playlist when you're on the road, but you guys were probably listening to U2, right? on the way
what?
out there? Or-
You know what? Just so you know, we didn't actually listen to U2. We kind of we've listened to U2 growing up, I guess.
Yeah.
And been listening to U2. I mean, we are big fans of U2, but we were listening to a lot of jam music.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Actually, yeah. But
I got to get that playlist from you guys sometime.
it was crazy. It was fun because we were on a trip. We went on this trip with Sugizo, but we also went with other like musicians.
Mhm.
It was a bassist,
Yes.
a drummer from Shag, actually,
Yes,
Sugizo's
yes.
project, Sugizo's band.
Young drummer.
Yeah, he's only
Mhm.
25, but he's
Mhm.
an exceptional drummer. And we also went with another bassist who is absolutely amazing at the he has so much groove in his music.
Yes,
He's got
yes.
he doesn't look like a Japanese, like he's got
Mhm.
dreadlocks all over. And he's just enjoying himself. But so that was a trip, and we also went with a local songwriter as well. He's an American guy, but
Mhm.
he writes for K-pop artists. He writes, he's a producer, music creator, songwriter. So yeah, we all went with the music people. So it was very, very, everything was about music.
Mhm.
Music was in the air, as they say.
I know my last question, and I'm going to get out of your way, Kimmy, because I know you got a lot to talk about with Sugizo. But when you guys go see a big band like U2, you've also sold out stadiums of 20,000, 50,000 people, right?
Mhm.
What is it like in the audience versus when you're on stage? Does it still have that special feel to you as a rock star?
But at first, I'm just rock kids, still rock kids. And of course, I'm still you to the big fan because I became, all the time, I became just boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wanted to see their new technologies,
Mm.
their visual, and of course, their sound. And firstly, I really wanted to visit this venue because this trip was, for me, it is very, very important opportunity. And of course, it's big experience to me. And I got a very big stimulate from their show.
Me too.
Mm.
I was, yeah, a
You guys
tremendous
seen it all.
excitement.
You-
Yeah,
And
so excited. We just become rock kids all the time. Yeah, maybe uh, our spirits sound like 14 years old all the time.
yeah,
Uh,
took us back, really.
that's such a
But
great way to put
interesting.
it.
But you know what? It was I would say it was very interesting because the music took us back
Mm.
decades, but the show itself
Yeah.
took us into the future, didn't
Yes,
it? I
yes.
mean, the sphere with all the LED. There was one moment where the stage, as if we were all outside in
Yeah.
the desert, in the middle of the desert, or where there was Las Vegas, like we see the entire city of Las Vegas, and we were all outside looking into the city.
Mm.
And then suddenly the city disappears
Yeah.
to bare desert, as if we went back in time when Las Vegas was just desert. It's amazing. I mean, I can't even put it into words. You have to go see it. I think if you have the opportunity, you definitely should see it because it's not just because it's YouTube. No, it is because YouTube, but because it has that entertainment and technology at its finest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
we were talking about, well, who the hell is, but which art, who's next? Who's next? Who's going to be performing at the sphere next? That's an interesting thing. We were saying, well, who's that going to be?
Yeah. Like maybe, for example, Taylor Swift or not.
Yeah.
For example, but of course, someday I really won't play
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
It's
If
my
Lunacy could play,
dream.
I mean, maybe Lunacy would be the first Japanese rock band
Wow.
performing at the Sphere. But when you mention this, things come true. So we will mention it, and we'll keep mentioning it.
You mentioned it, and Kimmy, don't forget to take me with you this time.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
okay.
of course. We'll be bang in the
I wanna
middle
go
of the Sphere.
I want to go see Lunacy with you.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
talking about Lunacy, I want to, introduce Lunacy, the band, and how it all came about. Very short bio of the band. It was formed in 1989 as Lunacy. It was spelt Lunacy, as in the spelling Lunacy, but then they changed their name into Luna and Sea. So the moon and the sea. It means, the meaning of the band is you change and morph like the moon, but deepness like the ocean. So that's the meaning behind Lunacy. They were signed by ex-Japan's label Ecstasy Records in 91. And in April, they released their debut album, Lunacy, which sold 10,000 albums just on pre-sale. It wasn't even, it basically didn't make it to the stores. Then they released the second album, Image, in 92. They basically took the industry, Japanese music industry by storm. But the band splits up in 2000 at the height of their career, ending their 12-year as Lunacy. Then in 2007, after 7 years of silence, they announced a one-night only show on the day of the lunar eclipse and performed that show at the Tokyo Dome, 50,000 capacity, on December 24th, 2007, on a full moon day. So there's a story behind Lunacy. Every time there's a story. Nobody knew what was going to happen after that. Even the band didn't know what was going to happen after that one night only show. But in 2010, Lunacy announces their revival on the website on a full moon night.
Yeah.
I see a theme.
It was called Lunacy Reboot, and everyone went crazy. Anyways, from then on, they went on a world tour, 8 shows, 4 countries, 3 days at the Tokyo Dome, and they have been together since. Now celebrating their 35th anniversary, touring across Japan, and they just announced that a couple of weeks ago. So, if you're in Japan, go check out Lunacy's show. They are on sale, right? They will be on sale, or they are on sale right now. They've got a whole year of tour ahead of them. So the band has sold over 1000万以上ですよね、sales ね。もう
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. No, it says over 10 million records sold throughout their career. That's a hell of a lot of albums. So yeah, there you go. That's the short synopsis of Lunacy. They have influenced a lot of rock bands, rock kids, us growing up. A lot of people that play music right now in the industry have been, one way or the other, influenced by Lunacy. And yeah, they do go down in history in Japan. They are a super massive rock band. Now that you know Lunacy, you know what? We should talk about how do you, I mean, they still are together with the same member after 35
years.
Yeah. I would actually love to hear what Sugizo thinks about, how do you keep your members together for 35 years? I know you broke up in the middle, but still, you got together. What was it that got you back together, but also kept on going for 35 years?
Okay. Can I change Japanese?
Yes,
Can I use
of
Japanese?
course.
若い時は大変だったんですよ、キープすることが。メンバーみんなとても自己主張が強い。で、表現欲求も強い。で、音楽に妥協しない。なので、10代の時に集まって、その時は意気投合した仲間が長く続けていくとだんだん争いになっていたんですよね。それで一度2000年に活動をストップしたんです。その先話しちゃって大丈夫ですか？
そしたらちょっと待ってくださいね。Hold on one sec, I'm going to translate. But before I do. そうですよね。調べてます、ちゃんと。So I'm going to quickly translate. it was really difficult when they were young, when we were young, to even be together because we were self-conscious. We had our own minds. We never compromised at the creativity. So there were always conflicts and そうですね。
conflict.
There's always conflict.
で、一度活動を止めるわけです。まあ、それはブレイクアップじゃなかったんですよね。活動を止めた。それで7年間、おのおのの活動をしてきて、いろんなプロジェクトをみんなが経験してきて、改めて分かったことが、どんな関係性であろうと、音楽的にどんなに、例えば揉めたり意見が分かれたりしても、音楽の居場所はもうルナシーしか僕らの故郷がないということなんですよ。揉めても揉めてなくても、うまくいってもいかなくても、僕らの音楽的故郷は、ホームは一つしかなくて、それがルナシーで、あ、こいつらは家族だったんだっていうことを分かった。年を取ってから。家族って決して本当に仲いい、心が通じ合える、ね、人間関係じゃない場合もあるじゃないですか。なんですけど、家族である、ファミリーであるっていう事実はもう変えられない事実で、変えられないことで、あ、これは実はとっても愛おしいことだったんだっていうことに気づいたんですね。それが30代後半から40ぐらい、10代の時に集まって20年ぐらいかかって、実はもう一生この自分のホーム、自分の音楽的ファミリーには出会えない。それを確信した時に、この関係を大切にしたいと思うようになったんです。メンバー全員そうだったはずです。
So the conflict, through the conflict, we decided to not break up, but pause our activities, and everyone went into individual projects, side projects, full project, and but after parting for a while, pausing for a while, they kind of realized that lunacy was actually something very special, where it was felt like home. It felt like going back to your family. It was the place where even if so the analogy was that when you, even with your own family, you sometimes get on, you sometimes don't, you go into fights, but they realized after going away from each other that their the relationship that they've built throughout their teenage and in their 20s, that the relationship had become such an important part of their lives, that nothing could change that relationship forever. And they actually realized that when they're in their 30s to 40s. So it took them 20 years to realize how important the relationship that they had, that Lunacy had created within the band, that could never be replaced with anybody else, and how important that was in continuing as the band.
そう、継続は力なり。で、今、50代になって思うことは、35年間、不動のメンバーで、皆が元気でステージに立てるっていうことだけで、本当に感謝の気持ちしかないんですよね。やっぱり僕の仲間、僕の他のバンド、まあこれは致し方ないんですけど、残念ながらどんどん仲間が先に他界していく、旅立っていく。そんな中で僕らはたまたま5人元気でまだステージに立てる。これだけでなんか人生の宝をもう持ってる。じゃあ次はいつまで最高のロックが僕らできるのか、最高のステージができるのか。そのために今、人生がある感じ。ステージに立つために自分が息をしていて、ステージに立つために、体や食事やプライベートな 自分を常に磨いてる。そういう感覚で今、ルナシー35年を迎えていますね。
So everybody in their 50s now,
Maybe 55.
50, yeah, 50. So in the mid 50s,
そうそう。
they've been going on for 35 years. And what they feel right now is how thankful it is to be able to, and thankful and grateful to be able to stand on stage with the original members together, still continuing what they do. Because when you look around, when Sugizo looks around, there are a lot of bands that want some of their members have passed away. There are a lot of people and artists that are passing away, unfortunately. And yeah, he does feel that they are truly, and every member feels truly grateful to be able to stand on stage together, still continuing what they've been doing for 35 years. Now, Sugizo's question is, how long are we able to do this together? And every day, every moment, Sugizo thinks that how long to be able to stand on stage healthy and play the music that they've always liked for 35 years is what he thinks every day as he stands on stage and performs in front of people, performs in front of his fans, along with his members.
Incredible story. And how many people, there are not that many, a handful of bands that like yours that have been around that long and have drawn that much attention and love for the band members and the music. So it's an incredible story. We got to go to break here, and I want to take us to break with Loveless. Anything would you like to tell us about the song a little bit, Sugizo?
Okay, this is one of my legendary Lunacy song. I like this music just 30 years ago. But last year we did re-recording for our 19th legendary 2 albums with great producer Steve Lillywhite. Today I really wanted to play my music called Loveless, our one of the best song, and with Lillywhite. This sound is so great. I really want to introduce to you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Really beautiful. Okay, here it is. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Kimi Kato show with a special guest, Sugizo. This is a really great show, guys. And so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Here is Loveless.